In a lavish, ornate room stood a girl with long, flowing white hair, adorned in a stunning white ceremonial gown. Beside her, two maids adjusted her dress. The pure white gown, paired with pristine white shoes embellished with exquisite Lewin pearls, perfectly complemented the young woman's figure and aura. Around her slender neck, an emerald jewelry set, a gift from Lady Unju, further enhanced the blue of her eyes. Her eyes were truly beautiful, like shining gems in a starry sky. The young woman's face was beautiful and graceful. A maid beside her gently reminded, "The bridal bouquet, milady." The beautiful young woman was none other than the legitimate daughter of Count Roland, Lily Roland. She was about to become a bride, and her bridal bouquet was even named after her. Lilies, a flower symbolizing purity and nobility. Lily held the beautiful bouquet to her chest, gently inhaling its intoxicating fragrance. A maid sighed with admiration. "Tomorrow, you will marry into the royal family and will surely be the most beautiful bride in the kingdom of Gron." Lily asked the maid softly, "Did you see Richard today?" She wanted her fiancé to see her in her wedding gown. The maids respectfully replied. Prince Stuart went towards the greenhouse. They also reminded Lily that according to the customs of the kingdom of Gron, the bride was not to meet the groom the night before the wedding. Ignoring the maid's reminder, Lily lifted her skirt and ran out the door. As she went, she glanced back, saying, "Richard and I have known each other since we were children. We don't care about these troublesome formalities." Back when Richard was 14 and Lily was 11, Prince Richard Stuart was, to Lily, her first treasure. When Richard was 17 and Lily 14, he was her first dance partner at her societal debut. Her sparkling eyes gazed at the young man before her. He was everything. Lily's girlhood, all her innocent wishes, and her vision of happiness. Lily walked along the path to the greenhouse, skipping and holding her dress, giggling as she thought about surprising Richard with her secret visit. Suddenly, she heard a rustling sound from the other side. Lily, curious, peeked through the bushes. There, she saw a sight she would never forget for the rest of her life. Right before her eyes, the crown prince to whom she was about to entrust her entire life was passionately kissing another woman. The woman was even moaning her fiancé's name. Lily was completely shocked. She clasped her hand over her mouth, trying not to make a sound. The other woman cooed coquettishly, "Richard, tomorrow you'll marry Lily and make her crown princess. I suppose you won't be coming to the Count's estate to find me anymore, will you?" Richard, panting, comforted the beauty in his arms. "How could that be? She's just a little girl who gets shy whenever she sees me. So boring." As he spoke, he gently patted the woman's thigh. "Don't you feel how much I'll miss you?" These two continued their entanglement, their panting breaths and whispered endearments. "My dear, sweetheart," filling the air. Richard caressed her bottom, calling her name, "Bella, you are my morphine." As they were wrapped up in each other, they heard a crash. A potted plant had fallen and shattered. Beside the broken pot stood Lily. She covered her mouth, horrified, unable to believe her ears. Lily spoke, her voice trembling, begging Richard for an explanation. She truly couldn't believe that the man who was about to take sacred wedding vows with her would do this with her own sister. Yes, the woman Richard had been intimate with was Bella, Lily's sister. Bella opened her mouth, taunting Lily. "You're not even crown princess yet, so why are you meddling in His Highness's private affairs in the palace?" Bella then moved closer to Lily. "Does His Highness know you're this jealous type?" At this point, Lily could no longer treat Bella normally. She recoiled, shouting, "Stay away from me. The person I'm questioning isn't you." Bella then pretended to stumble back, snuggling into Richard's arms, calling out, "Your Highness." Seeing this, he grabbed Lily's wrist, speaking condescendingly. "Lily, don't use that tone with your sister." Richard showed no shame for his actions. He looked at Lily and said, "Our betrothal was decided by my father. You are my responsibility, but Bella is my pleasure." Ignoring Lily's look of disbelief and disappointment, Richard grabbed Lily's face, threatening her. "Forget all of this and keep your mouth shut. Only then can I guarantee that tomorrow you will still be the enviable bride." His eyes were full of blatant intimidation. Richard gripped Lily's chin, calling her his little rabbit, his darling, and demanded she join them to enjoy supreme pleasure. With that, Richard intended to act immediately. He leaned in to kiss her, but Lily reacted in time, biting down hard on the finger pressing against her lips. Richard cried out in pain, yelling, "You crazy woman!" and then slapped Lily hard across the face. She fell to the ground, having received a slap from her fiancé. Her face immediately began to swell and bruise. She was silent for a moment, then, with newfound determination, looked at the scumbag. Tears welled in her eyes, but her words were clearer than ever as she questioned him. If His Majesty the King, your father, who bestowed this marriage upon you, knew that you were secretly involved with the illegitimate daughter of a sorceress the night before the wedding, how would he treat you? Richard's face showed alarm. Lily, sitting on the cold ground, coldly declared, the alliance between the royal house of Stuart and the Roland family is over. Suddenly, Bella lunged forward and grabbed Lily tightly. In her hand was a suspicious-looking purple potion. Bella's eyes glinted maliciously. If my dear sister couldn't keep His Highness's secret, she hissed, then I'll just have to make sure you can never speak again. With that, she swiftly poured the purple liquid into Lily's mouth. Lily realized with horror it was a potent poison Bella had concocted. Lily struggled, but Bella gripped her throat tightly, forcing every last drop down before finally releasing her. Lily coughed violently, spewing a mouthful of blood. Bella sauntered over to Richard, the crown princess-to-be, dead in her family's greenhouse the night before the wedding. She mused, a fabricated story already forming. His Highness wouldn't become a suspect, would he? Malice gleamed in both their eyes. Richard smirked cruelly. Tie her to a horse, he commanded his men, and dump her in the fields. Richard was truly wicked. Tonight was the blood moon. He wanted Lily to become food for monsters. Against the night sky, the blood-red moon hung full and round. Lily lay unconscious in the field where she'd been thrown, her eyes wide with a look of utter despair. Suddenly, a large hand with sharp claws reached for Lily. It seemed to be the monster Richard had mentioned. A colossal beast, hidden by the darkness, only its glowing red eyes visible, gently lifted Lily. Beneath the blood moon, a great wolf carried Lily's body, staring intently at her. The blood moon cast an eerie red glow over a magnificent, imposing palace that stood out against the dark sky, crows cawing and circling wildly. Lily slowly opened her eyes. The first thing she saw was a beautiful, worried-looking blonde girl. Am I an angel? Lily wondered aloud, then closed her eyes again, thinking God had called her to heaven. Becoming a little more lucid, Lily realized she was still alive. She was lying on a soft mattress somewhere. The maidservant, seeing her awake, turned and reported, Your Highness, she's awake. Only then did Lily take in her surroundings. She clutched the corner of the blanket, nervously asking the maidservant, Who are you, and where am I? The maidservant bowed respectfully. My name is Catherine, she introduced. You are at Shadowfell Manor, an ancient castle deep in the wastelands. Catherine reassured Lily, Don't worry, you are very safe now. Across the room, a handsome man with striking red irises was watching Lily. According to Catherine, this was the lord who owned all the land here. He snapped his fingers, and the candles in the room instantly lit up. Lily could now see his face clearly. This was His Highness, Isaac Stuart. Lily's heart pounded. She recognized him. The king's youngest brother, a man second only to the king himself in the kingdom of Ciar. As far as Lily knew, even Prince Richard, her fiancé, had to respectfully address him as royal uncle. He was also brilliant. Rumor had it he was a renowned war hero, exceptionally brave, incredibly wealthy, and the object of affection for every noble lady in the kingdom. Yet, despite his brilliance, he had strayed due to his obsession with dark magic, moving to the wastelands to live in seclusion, disappearing from court life. Lily hastily got out of bed and curtsied. Your esteemed Highness, Lord Stuart, she said, thank you for saving my life. I am. As she was introducing herself, Lily felt dizzy and fell into Isaac's arms, her face pale and weak. There's no need for introductions. Isaac knew who she was. Count Roland's daughter, Lily Roland. Lily was surprised he knew. Helping Lily stand upright, Isaac said, I know you, an unfortunate girl who almost became crown princess. Isaac helped Lily sit on the bed. Catherine's potion may have saved your life, but dark magic and its remedies are like fighting poison with poison. You are unconscious for 2 days. Your body is very weak and needs time to recover. He told her there was no need for formalities. Lily was stunned, unable to believe she had been unconscious for 2 days. Her wedding to Richard must have already passed. Lily looked down, thinking of her parents, and clutched her skirt, trembling. A royal wedding with the bride absent. What had happened to her father and mother? Lily then remembered Bella's cruel face, and a shiver ran through her. Isaac spoke up. "Miss Lily," he proposed. "Do you want revenge?" Lily, who had been anxiously biting her nails, looked up at Isaac. He continued, "Your childhood sweetheart and fiancé, secretly having an affair with your illegitimate half-sister behind her back, right before your wedding. They even fed you a poison that corrodes organs and bones." Isaac asked her seriously, "Do you hate them?" Lily was silent for a moment, then replied, "I hate them." She cried out in indignation. "I hate them to my very core." But then what could she do? She trembled, clutching her dress. "I'm just a noble lady who has never left her chambers. Apart from embroidery, sewing, and preparing herbal remedies, I know nothing else." She confessed, "My only wish before today was to marry into the royal family and be a gentle wife." Lily then burst into tears, saying self-consciously, "How can someone like me become an enemy of the royal house of Stuart and Bella, who is half Demonis?" Isaac reached out and lifted Lily's tear-streaked face. "Look at me." To Lily's astonished gaze, Isaac said, "A woman determined to seek revenge should not bow her head. I can teach you tactics, strategy, assassination, martial arts. I will teach you everything you need for revenge. There's only one condition." Isaac looked into Lily's eyes and said, "You must stay at Shadowfell Manor forever." Lily's glistening, tear-filled eyes looked up hopefully at the man before her, hearing Isaac Stewart's plea to stay with him forever. Isaac touched Lily's face. She blushed, thinking to herself, would the reputedly arrogant and solitary Lord Stewart say this to a girl he just met? He saved my life, but he's still a Stewart. A worry lingered. Can I truly trust him? Just as she finished her thought, she bowed deeply to Isaac. Then, she looked up and said, "I am very grateful that you saved my life, Your Highness, but I am an engaged woman. Living in the house of a single man, like yourself, for an extended period would expose you to rumors." She continued, "My betrothal and my vengeance concern my family's honor, so I must discuss it with my father, Count Roland, before deciding." He stared, taken aback by her worried expression. She went on, "Furthermore, I've been missing for 2 days. My mother, Lady Unju, will be terribly worried." With a sincere look, she placed her hand on her chest and added, "Please, Your Highness, allow me to return home." Isaac listened to everything, then lowered his head and nodded slowly. Lily, surprised and radiant, thanked His Highness. As she joyfully started to leave, he suddenly grabbed her arm, startling her. "Do you intend to cross the wilderness in your nightgown?" he asked. Only then did Lily realize her attire was rather thin. She turned away, embarrassed. He sighed and called for the maid. "Catherine, prepare a riding habit and a well-trained horse for her." The maidservant replied, "Yes, Your Highness." Lily blushed at his actions. After changing into the riding habit and being presented with a horse, she stroked its neck. "My dear," she whispered, "can you take me to Count Roland's estate?" The horse nuzzled her face as if to say yes, making her smile. Then she mounted the horse. As Lily rode off into the quiet night, Isaac watched her go, his expression contemplative. Seeing this, Catherine asked, "Are you just going to let her leave like that, Your Highness?" She didn't stop there, continuing, "Your Highness, we've investigated her identity." She began to explain, "Lily Roland, the only daughter of the Blessed Lady Unju, born with divine favor. She is qualified to inherit the methods of potion-making passed down through generations. From childhood, she has tasted all sorts of herbs. Her blood, it can restore your original appearance and the sanity you lose control of when the moon affects your form." Catherine pressed on, trying to persuade him, "Make use of her. It's the best shortcut to break your curse and return to the palace." He remained silent, motionless, after hearing all she had to say. Suddenly, a crow flew down and landed on his shoulder. In its talon was a rolled-up paper, a wanted poster bearing the name Lily Roland. Then, Isaac finally spoke, his voice low, "The more you desire something, the more you should set it free. Only then will it truly belong to you forever." Meanwhile, Lily had arrived at Count Roland's estate. She rushed in, calling out, "Father, Mother, I'm home." She stopped abruptly, her eyes widening at the scene before her. Slowly, she approached, disbelieving what she saw. Her eyes grew wider still, and she clapped a hand over her mouth to stifle a sob. Tears welled as she cried out, "Mother!" in utter confusion. Trembling, she stammered, "Mother, why don't joke with me, please?" She tried to rouse her mother. "Please, mother, wake up. I beg you." She began to cry harder, choking out, "Didn't you promise just a few days ago that you would personally give me away at my wedding?" Suddenly, there was the sound of a door opening. She turned. It was a maid, looking quite terrified upon seeing her. Lily sobbed, unable to form coherent words, trying to say, "Mary, head maid, mother, Lady Anju." Before she could finish, Mary shrieked, "Ah, she's back." She quickly called out, "Guards, guards, come quickly." She hesitated, then declared, "Lady Lily, no, the murderer of Lady Anju has returned." After these words, Lily felt as if she'd been struck by lightning, understanding nothing. That night, under a gloomy sky, Lily Roland was helplessly locked in a prison cell at the top of a tower in Count Roland's estate. She banged on the door repeatedly, desperate for help. She cried out pitifully, "Someone, I'm innocent. I want to see my father, his lordship." No matter how many times she cried out, she was met only with terrifying silence. Utterly helpless, she sank to her knees, begging. Even so, Lily kept pleading, "I need to see my mother. I have to find my mother's killer." While she was utterly exhausted, someone opened the door, revealing a rare sliver of light in the darkness. Lily looked up and was surprised to see Bella, calmly holding a cup of tea, looking at her. Bella casually poured the tea onto Lily's distraught face. "I heard from the servants you've been screaming all day. Your voice must be hoarse." Lily's beautiful face was drenched with tea, but Bella seemed to derive immense pleasure from it, emptying the cup. "Here, have a cup of Earl Grey to soothe your throat, little songbird." Seeing Bella humiliate her, Lily glared, full of anger, and clearly enunciated her name. "Bella," Lily seethed. "You and my fiancé were having an affair and even wanted to kill me to silence me. And now you dare show your face to me." Bella was extremely pleased by Lily's expression. "Oh my, it seems my good little sister doesn't want to see me." She smirked at Lily. "Were you expecting someone else to visit? Count Roland, perhaps?" Then, Bella revealed a painful fabrication. "Unfortunately for you, because his most beloved daughter poisoned her own mother to escape the royal wedding and run off with another man, his lordship, our father, had a heart attack. He's bedridden and can't get up." Hearing Bella's words was like a thunderbolt, leaving Lily stunned. Lily couldn't believe that her father's condition was her fault. Bella added, her voice dripping with sarcasm, "Later, I even have to prepare his medicine." Lily lost her composure. "No, the poisoner is you," she screamed furiously. "You killed mother, and now you're trying to harm father. You're a demoness. You'll definitely face retribution." Bella immediately slapped her hard across the face. She glared, her tone changing. "Lily Roland, I hope you understand your situation," she threatened. "The one on the wanted posters is you." Slapped like that, Lily covered her stinging cheek, both terrified and worried. Bella added, "And the one who will be hanged tomorrow night is also you." Bella added fuel to the fire. "He originally planned to make it look like you fled out of guilt and then died at the hands of monsters in the wilderness. But you foolishly ran back. Now, you're about to become the talk of the entire country." Lily sagged. Although she didn't want to believe what Bella said, her circumstances made her heart waver. A tear fell from Lily's eye. "It was Richard, wasn't it?" she asked. "That scumbag wants to use his power to drive me to my death." Bella grew increasingly pleased seeing Lily's despair. "The feeling of being betrayed by the one you love. It hurts, doesn't it?" He said, "Loving you is like loving a peacock in a cage, a little pony. Once he's bored of playing, he'd just toss you aside." Bella continued, "The only things he has ever truly loved are his honor and the throne." Lily seemed to accept the bitter truth. She stood up and wiped her tears. "Fine," she said. "So I disturbed your wonderful affair and almost delayed His Highness the Prince's bright future." Helplessly, she continued, "If you want me dead, so be it. But what did father do wrong?" Lily, overwhelmed with anger, grabbed Bella by the collar. Every word she spoke dripped with injustice and hatred. "When you and your sorceress mother were wandering everywhere, treated coldly by everyone, it was father, his lordship, who welcomed you into the Count's estate." Lily recalled the better past they shared as children. "I never cared that you were the illegitimate daughter of a sorceress, that you had demoness blood in you. I always treated you like my own sister." The more Lily spoke, the more vivid the beautiful memories between them became. "Mother treated you like her own daughter. She taught you all her knowledge of potions." Lily asked in anguish, "Why did you betray them?" However, the wickedness within Bella only grew stronger. She laughed insidiously. I gave you a chance to throttle me, and you used it to preach morality to me? She cackled. I've won. Then, Bella began to cast a spell. Uttering a few words of power, a magical purple wind erupted, swirling around them. Bella's eyes blazed, and Lily, unable to stand, was thrown against the wall. Bella's magic bound her hands behind her back. The cruelest evil contorted Bella's face. Lily Roland, she hissed, the truth is I've always hated you. Bella seethed with resentment for Lily. We are both daughters of Count Roland, she spat. She hated that Lily's mother was a blessed and beloved saintess, while her own mother was a sorceress with no fixed home, forced to wander the streets. She remembered their shared past, both loving Richard. But their father had arranged Lily's betrothal to the royal family, while Bella and Richard could only meet in secret. So, you're saying it's all our fault? Lily managed. That we didn't give you what you wanted? Exactly, Bella replied nonchalantly. Lily Roland, after you die, everything that is yours will be mine. She slammed the door shut, her eyes glinting maliciously. My final act of sisterly mercy. I'll dispose of your body. Bella slowly closed the door. Farewell, my dear little sister. Lily stood frozen. She couldn't believe what the crown prince had done to her. She regretted it all. Lily screamed, tears streaming down her face, a cry torn from the depths of her suffering. I regret it. I must have revenge. Please, someone, help me get revenge. Lily didn't notice a crow, wearing a mysterious ring, appear in the night sky. Lady Lily, I have received your prayer. The image of the black crow, perched on the windowsill, looked at Lily and said, I have received your prayer. Lily turned her head, still bound by thorny ropes that covered her whole body. Purple sparks crackled as the crow began to cast a spell, creating a magic circle that emitted violet rays. A glowing orb appeared within it, crackling with lightning. The window was blasted open by the purple light with a tremendous boom. Lily, startled, looked around. The purple rays sliced through the thorny ropes. Severed, they loosened and released Lily. The crow then cast another spell, unlocking Lily's manacles, leaving her utterly astonished. Once Lily was free, the crow flapped its wings, thwack, 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 and landed in front of her. This made Lily's jaw drop. Little crow, she asked, you know magic? The crow, indignant, hopped up and down. I'm not some little crow. I have a name. My name is Karen, Lord Stewart's most trusted informant, Karen Farrell. By my master's order, I've come to escort Lady Roland back to Shadowfell Manor. Crow, Karen, you came to save me? Lily asked doubtfully. But this is a high tower, and Bella has posted many guards to watch me. How can we possibly escape? Karen scolded Lily. You fool, and spread her wings wide. Why do you think crows have wings? To fly, of course. With that, she beat her wings with a resounding thwack and flew up to perch on the windowsill. We'll fly. They can only watch us with their eyes. Follow me, quickly. Lily, scared, climbed onto the windowsill. She glanced around, assessing the situation. I'm a little afraid of heights, she admitted. But what do we do next? Do you trust me? Karen asked Lily. If you trust me, close your eyes and jump. Following Karen's words, Lily looked down, and a cold sweat broke out all over her. Her hands gripped the windowsill tightly, her body trembling. Suddenly, a soldier noticed. Hey, why is the tower railing gone? He shouted. His words startled the soldier with him, who looked up. Both exclaimed, Oh heavens! Lady Lily is trying to escape. Guards, go get her. Lily realized her predicament. Forget it, she told herself. Even if I fall to my death, it's better than being hanged in public. Action matching her thought, Lily jumped, though her heart was still pounding with fear. She squeezed her eyes shut to lessen her terror. Her heart hammered, thump, 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 and her breath came in ragged gasps. Huff, huff, huff. Not disappointing Lily's hopes, Karen caught her, now transformed into a massive creature. Once again, Karen left Lily utterly speechless with the unexpected. Karen calmly said, Lady Lily, are you ready for the journey? And reminded her, it might get a bit bumpy during the flight. Hold on tight to my feathers. The two guards below were bewildered. What is that thing? A dragon? A giant crow? She's escaped. Dark, dark magic. She truly is an evil sorceress. Catch her. Lily, her eyes filled with sorrow, looked down. Those jeers forced her change. Lily's gaze shifted from sorrowful to determined. The image of Karen, wings outspread, with Lily on her back, both sharing the same goal. Forward, the imposing castle stood majestically, surrounded by green trees. Lily, with her long white hair covering her entire back, wore a simple black dress with understated patterns. Her eyes, sad and unfocused, stared into the distance. On a table lay a necklace. Lily walked over and picked it up, her eyes growing even sadder. Lily remembered her mother. She silently spoke to her mother. "Mother, your necklace is so beautiful, like the colors of the mountains, forests, and lakes." Lily recalled the years she spent with her mother, the days they played together. Lily looked at the necklace. Her mother had said, "This necklace was a wedding gift from your grandmother to me when I married out. When the day comes that Lily changes her surname to Stewart, I will personally put it on you, all right?" Lily had rushed to hug her mother, agreeing with her words, quickly replying, "Yes, mother," with a joyful expression. Returning to the present, Lily cried, "Mother, oh mother, I will definitely avenge you. I will make Richard and Bella pay in blood." Lily was resolute in her words. Knock, knock. A knock on the door pulled Lily back to reality. She wiped away her tears and called out, "Who is it?" Lily opened the door. The person who had knocked was Isaac. "Have you made your decision, Lady Lily?" he asked. "Starting today, you are the mistress of this Shadowfell manor." In the lavish villa, Isaac stood there and said to Lily, "Starting today, you are the mistress of this Shadowfell manor." His black hair had a few strands falling across his exquisitely handsome face, perfect from every angle. His crimson eyes were chillingly cold. Long, curved eyelashes and a high-bridged nose further enhanced his noble appearance. He looked at her, his face expressionless, coldly stating the fact. She was still looking at him, dazed, her blue eyes wide. Her smooth, platinum blonde hair was long, with a few loose strands. She bowed her head in thanks, her hands lifting the black dress slightly, which contrasted with her fair skin. "I should thank your highness for temporarily agreeing to let someone like me, who has nowhere else to go, stay here." Then, her expression worried, she stood up and looked at him. "However, I am now completely isolated and have become a wanted criminal, keeping me at the manor. For you, I fear the potential danger outweighs any benefit." She spoke anxiously, her eyes once again shimmering as she looked at him. Her pink lips, along with a black hair clip that highlighted her white hair, were striking. "I'm very curious," she said. "What do you hope to gain by helping me?" He looked down at her. "You're quite clever, able to see things from my perspective." "Very well, I'll tell you." He paused for a moment, then leaned closer to her. Her eyes widened in fear. The air seemed to chill. "It's because of your blood." She looked up at him, trembling, her eyebrows furrowed in terror. He held up a necklace with a blue crystal pendant. He moved behind her, and, as he fastened the necklace around her neck, he said, "Living together day and night, I can't hide it forever. Several years ago, I was afflicted with a very troublesome curse. Your blood can soothe it." He leaned close to her neck. Her face flushed beet red. "In exchange, on every full moon, you will give me your blood for my medicine. What do you say? Will you agree?" She coldly pushed his hand away from her. While he looked disconcerted, she moved very close to him, her face near his, saying nothing. Suddenly, she stared intently into his eyes. "Your Highness, Prince Stewart," she said, "excuse my impertinence." Abruptly, she yanked at his shirt button. He looked flustered, confused, and glared at her. "What do you think you're doing?" She ripped his shirt open. On his chest, a strange tattoo appeared. She stared at the tattoo as if she knew what it meant, sweat beading on her forehead. She frowned, her expression complex. "So, it is the Covenant curse," she stammered, looking up at him, her eyes clearly showing anxiety. "No wonder your Highness had to leave the royal family and live in the wastelands, isolated from the outside world." She continued, explaining thoroughly to him. "Every full moon, you turn into a mindless monster. It must be incredibly painful, mustn't it?" He looked at her blankly, his already cold face darkening further. She went on, "Moreover, on moonless nights, you must endure an eroding pain." An image of the beast under the blood moon appeared in her mind. "Until you lose your humanity completely and become a monster, killing all your loved ones, then dying in a fit of madness." Then, she suddenly remembered something. That crow, Karen, who knows magic, wasn't he also affected by the curse to become like that? He slowly put on his coat, his expression pensive. "Karen Farrell was once my shadow servant. After I bought him from the slave market, he has always been by my side." An image of that night flashed in his mind, crackling purple sparks. He continued, "The night the sorceress attacked, if he hadn't helped me disperse part of the curse, I fear I would have become a mindless beast or a cripple." The image slowly formed. Karen standing protectively in front of him, the sorceress holding a purple orb, then slowly disappearing amidst a chaotic scene. Isaac covered his face, the air around him seeming to grow colder. His sharp eyes filled with resentment. "Sooner or later, I will find that woman who cursed me and the one behind her. I will make them pay 100,000 times over," he growled, each word deliberate. Then he looked at her, placed his hand on her shoulder, and said, "From the standpoint of someone also seeking revenge, I can deeply empathize with you." She took his hand in hers. "Understand, Your Highness." She closed her eyes and smiled faintly, deeply empathizing with him. "Just a little blood in exchange for your help. For me, that's a beneficial transaction." She looked at him tenderly, her eyes sparkling, a radiant smile on her face. "If you trust me, please let me prepare sedatives and pain-relieving herbs for you." Just then, Catherine entered, holding a letter. "Your Highness, Karen has a message from His Majesty the King." Her eyes widened as she looked at the two of them. She hadn't expected to find Lily and Isaac together like this. Perhaps she had misunderstood something. She smiled brightly at Lily. "Lady Lily, rest assured my lips are sealed. I won't reveal the secret between you and His Highness." Lily's face turned bright red. She stammered an explanation, her voice trembling. "Hey, don't misunderstand. I just wanted to examine His Highness's cursed symptoms to research how to prepare a remedy. That's all," she said, gesturing with her hands. Catherine grasped her hand tightly. "I've heard that the Covenant curse is an extremely rare malediction. Karen and I can only lessen His Highness's frenzies with magic." She looked at Lily, her eyes full of admiration. "Lady Lily, you have a way to break the curse? That's amazing," Lily said happily, her face still a little flushed. "Actually, I don't have experience breaking curses either. It's just that, being by my mother's side every day, I've learned quite a bit about pharmacology through osmosis." She looked down, her eyes filled with happiness. "If I can use my blood as a catalyst to create a potion that can help His Highness break the curse," she hesitated, then turned back to him, "then I can repay him for saving my life, right?" In a magnificent room, decorated in luxurious blue and white tones, sunlight streamed in, making the room sparkle more than ever, a dazzling, wonderful sight. Lily and Isaac were currently walking around the room. Lily's white hair and the black dress she wore made her stand out. He told her, "I've instructed Catherine to prepare a guest room. You will stay here from now on." Lily was incredibly grateful. She opened her lovely blue eyes wide, smiling radiantly at Isaac. Isaac began to show her around Shadowfell Manor. "This is my hidden library. Except for the locked forbidden books, you can use anything you like." Lily looked somewhat dazed. Perhaps she had never seen such a large library. She exclaimed in surprise, "Wow, you have so many books. History, ethnology, alchemy, and even ancient herbalism tomes." Then they went to the sword training ground. He told her, "I like to practice swordsmanship in the courtyard. Later, I will teach you how to use a bow and arrow and a dagger." A large courtyard appeared. This was Isaac's sword training ground. Lily pouted, but still looked adorable. "I can do it." Perhaps this was also a sign of her determination. Lily and Isaac continued to walk along the corridor. Looking at her and Isaac's figures, she noted he was a full head taller than her. As they walked and talked, she said, "I see there's quite a bit of empty land next to the courtyard. May I borrow it to plant herbs?" Lily asked him. He readily agreed. "Please feel free." This gave Lily a sense of comfort. Isaac opened the door to a room and introduced it to her. "This is the potion-making room." The room was stunningly beautiful, filled with glass bottles and potion ingredients. Lily twirled around the room, very happy, looking at all the bottles. She turned back to him, her eyes sparkling like a starry sky, her long lashes curved, and a bright smile on her face. "Thank you, Your Highness. I can prepare herbs for you here." Normally, Isaac looked very cold. He never smiled, never relaxed his facial muscles. He always looked stern and difficult, and his red eyes made him seem even fiercer. But at this moment, watching her joyful expression, he unconsciously smiled, a tender look in his eyes. Sunlight was streaming through the round window. He told her, "I've shown you everything in the old castle. I have to go to Sancy Palace for a while. If anything happens, you can call Catherine or Farrell." Her regretful eyes watched him leave. Now, Her smile from before was gone. She blushed. Suddenly, she called out his name loudly. "Your Highness!" He stopped and turned back to look at her. She approached him, blushing, her large eyes wide as she looked at him. "Excuse me, Your Highness, is something troubling you?" She stepped closer. "I'm a pharmacist, and I'm particularly sensitive to the emotions of patients. After you read the letter from His Majesty the King, although you showed no outward signs, you seemed more restless and anxious than usual." A few strands of her white hair fell across her flushed face. She continued, "We are on the same side now. I hope I can be of help to you." Isaac glanced down at her with his red eyes. He looked at her once, then rejected her. "My affairs are none of your concern." He turned and left, leaving her alone there with thousands of questions and thoughts in her head. She truly only wanted to help him. She watched him leave sorrowfully, her eyes no longer clear and sparkling. She sat down to brew herbs for him, stirring and muttering to herself, "Well, I should have realized sooner. Just because he saved me doesn't mean we're friends." She looked at the pot of green herbs. It reflected her clearly troubled face. Voices echoed in her head. "Lily, you are no longer a count's daughter. You are living under someone else's roof. Remember your place. He's keeping you here because of your blood." She frowned, letting a drop of her blood fall into the pot of herbs. "I just need to give him what he wants," she thought. "Then I'll use him as much as possible to achieve my goals." Her blood mixed with the herbs, the red spreading through the green liquid. Suddenly, black feathers scattered, and a black bird landed on her shoulder. "What's this?" "It smells very fragrant," it said, then dipped its beak into the bowl of herbs to drink. Lily, her face horrified, screamed, "Karen, don't. This is an experimental tonic for His Highness." She was worried, her eyes wide as she stared at the bird. A loud bang echoed. The black bird glowed with a blue light. The scene before her was unbelievable. The bird transformed into a young man. His snow-white hair stood out strikingly against his tan skin. His blue eyes were like seeing the entire ocean. His body was strong and muscular, with clearly defined, rippling muscles. He stood there, not knowing what to do, scratching his head in confusion. At this moment, Lily was panicking. She looked at him, her face bright red, closed her eyes, and screamed, "Ah!" A servant rushed in, asking what happened, and then also screamed in surprise, "It's Karen." He quickly explained, "Milady, don't be afraid. It's me, Karen." He then quickly got dressed. The two faced each other, very embarrassed. He blushed and stammered an apology. "I sincerely apologize for my rudeness just now, milady." Lily hadn't expected her potion to be so potent. "It's been a very long time since I've been human," Karen said. She also blushed, embarrassed. She put her hand to her chin, thinking, "Oh, it might be because of my blood. However, the ingredients in this old castle are only the most basic, so their effects are limited." She turned back to look at Karen. "In this form, I fear you can only maintain it for half a day before turning back into a blackbird." He looked at her. "So, if we use precious ingredients, could it help me stay human longer?" She replied, "The theory is sound, but it still needs testing. Moreover, some medicinal ingredients, for example, unicorn feathers and mermaid scales, are all very expensive and not easy to find," she said sadly. He took her hand, his eyes shining brightly. "Let's go to town together and see. What if we get lucky today?" But she hesitated to go. "That won't do, Karen. I'm a wanted criminal. What if the royal guards spot me?" He looked at her, full of confidence. "So that's what you're worried about? A disguise will do the trick, won't it? Just leave it to me." He winked at her reassuringly. "I guarantee I'll disguise you so well that even your own parents wouldn't recognize you." Lily, with the white-haired Viola young man, Karen, was being fitted with Viola attire. The outfit suited Lily very well, with its combination of a turquoise headscarf, a thin veil, and a jade necklace. Lily was very happy. "Is this the attire of your Viola tribe?" she said cheerfully. "Karen, I didn't expect you to know how to put together such a disguise for a girl." "I even thought that was the work of a professional costumer," Karen said, rubbing his nose smugly. "Disguise is a basic skill for a spy, you know. And by the way," he reminded her, "you're wearing my clothes." Lily suddenly wondered how he would look in that outfit. Probably quite charming. Then, Karen led Lily to a shop he often frequented. The owner was a young woman with brown hair, her traditional reddish-brown attire suiting her perfectly. The shopkeeper happily recognized Karen. "Ah, valued customer. It's been a while." Karen raised a hand, silently motioning for the usual. The shopkeeper glanced at Lily, then back at Karen with a knowing smile. Understood, understood. Your activities will certainly be kept confidential, sir, she said. Let me fetch the precious new items I've acquired for you to choose from. Lily, realizing, asked, She knows you? Karen replied. Previously, His Highness the Crown Prince often visited this place. I'm just basking in His Highness's glow. Then he whispered, Lily, listen. Don't underestimate this shop, just because it's small and in a remote location. The owner here is very capable. She can always find some rare and excellent goods not easily found on the market. A moment later, the shopkeeper brought out a box and opened it. Lily was astonished. They were merman scales, and moreover, scales from a mature male merman, the most potent magical ingredient. Karen said cheerfully, Madam, how much stock of this do you have? Pack it all up for my sister. He showed her a bag of gold, saying with great enthusiasm, We have an ample budget today. The shop's bell jingled, signaling a new customer. It was Bella. Isis, Bella drawled. Are those merman scales I asked you to find in stock yet? Bella's familiar voice made Lily recognize her, and she felt a wave of shock, instinctively trying to shrink and hide so her sister wouldn't realize she was there. Bella's judgmental gaze fell upon her. Bella, who always looked down on commoners, snorted. A lowly servant girl from the Va La tribe, like you buying medicinal ingredients in a place like this? Bella waved her hand dismissively at Lily, then at the merman scales, sneering, 80% chance it's for brewing an aphrodisiac to seduce men. She added, I want these fish scales, and also the spider-toad fat, bang dia black catnip, moonlight flower, and mandrake root. The shopkeeper said, These merman scales have already been purchased by this gentleman. Furthermore, miss, how dare you speak to her like that? Do you know who these two are? Before she could finish, Bella interrupted. The Va La tribe again? Just a tribe without even a nation, a lowly, wandering race. Besides, she added, no matter how grand their background might be, they're just servants to nobles, right? She smirked. And right now, I'm the sole daughter of Duke Roland. Whatever they pay for these fish scales, I'll pay double. Karen whispered to Lily, This is your demonic sister. So venomous. She makes you want to rush over and rip her mouth apart. Lily trembled, her hands clenching, and stammered, She's making a puppet master potion. Karen was surprised. Lily, both scared and urgent, explained, The ingredients she wants to buy are for a puppet master potion. Anyone who drinks it will gradually lose their intellect and judgment, becoming a wooden puppet controlled by others. Lily added, She once said she wanted to brew a potion for Father, but it seems she wants to use it to control Father and play with the Roland family in the palm of her hand. Then, Lily had an idea and nodded to Karen. Simultaneously, she grabbed a random glass vial from a shelf and surreptitiously splashed its contents onto Bella's neck. Bella, startled, clutched her neck. What do you think you're doing? Lily wore a satisfied, yet somewhat frightening, expression. You try to steal my fish scales. As a gift, I give you a vial of butterfly powder, Lily said with a warning tone. But be careful not to let it touch your skin, or you'll get an itchy rash. Hearing this, Bella shrieked in fear. You vile wicked wench. Do you know who I am? I am. Before she could finish, Bella was ambushed by Karen. With one hand, he bound Bella's hands, and with the other, he pressed a small dagger to her throat, exuding a terrifying, chilling aura. He glared and said, I don't care who you are, you wretch. He warned her, for insulting my sister, according to the rules of our Va La tribe, I can kill you. An expression of utter terror appeared on Bella's face. She was shocked and began to reconsider. Madam Isis clearly knows I am the daughter of the Roland family, yet she is so respectful to them, she thought, still reeling. Could it be they truly have a background that even she doesn't dare to offend? Now is a crucial moment. I have the Roland family in my grasp. I can't afford any more trouble. Though infuriated, Bella gritted her teeth and knelt before Lily. I am very sorry, miss, she said word by word. I shouldn't have offended you, esteemed young lady. Karen was still angry. Who did you call it lowly? Filthy wretch. Spit it out. Bella stammered. Lily calmly replied. Just a mad dog barking. I won't take it to heart. Then, she held out her hand in front of Bella, wanting the merman scales back. Bella handed them to Lily. Lily said cheerfully, and also the black catnip oil, the white flower, and the mandrake root. Madam Isis, please pack all the ingredients she needs and deliver them to my sister's residence. However much you have, I'll buy it all. Lily, as if to mock her thoroughly, added, From now on, this shop is not to sell even a single leaf to her. The shopkeeper replied happily, Yes, yes. I'll go check the warehouse immediately. Lily glanced at Bella, thinking this is just the beginning. Then she said to Karen, Our business here is done. Let's go home. He pushed Bella aside and said, As you command. Being pushed like that, Bella was furious, but she had to endure it, and endure it. She fumed at the two of them, thinking, Just wait until I find out the background of these two wretches. I'll have my father kill them, chop them into 1,000 pieces, and feed them to the dogs. Karen and Lily quickly left. Watching Lily's retreating figure, still disguised as a VA law tribeswoman, Bella suddenly noticed a resemblance to Lily. Lady Lily joined high society at the age of 13, she mused. Her demeanor was as elegant as a newly bloomed lily. After all, as the future crown princess, she naturally had to pay attention to etiquette. Bella, could that be you? That afternoon, at Prince Richard's palace, he was surrounded by beautiful, noble ladies fawning over him. Richard was blindfolded, but still exuded the aura of royalty. A girl giggled. Your Highness, it's my turn to accompany you. Just as Richard was about to catch the glib-tongued girl, he caught Bella instead. He thought he had caught the right person, but when he removed his blindfold, he was met with Bella's angry, frightening face. Afterward, the two went to a private place to talk. Richard seemed annoyed. How many times have I warned you not to come to the palace to see me without permission? Bella immediately put on a pained expression, acting coquettishly. I'm so sorry, Your Highness, but... Richard, slightly repulsed by her face, said, Don't get so close. What happened to your face? Be careful not to infect me. Bella lamented pitifully. I dare not hide it from Your Highness. This was done by my wicked younger sister. Richard realized she meant Lily. Didn't you say she ran away using magic? Bella continued, but I met a woman in the market. Although her face was covered, her voice, figure, and demeanor were all just like my sister's. Moreover, she's skilled in medicine. Richard's expression began to sour, but he continued to listen. They even talked about Your Highness, not sparing you either. Richard was startled. What? Bella whispered in Richard's ear. I heard that wretch discussing you, saying your actions are rash, selfish, and foolish, and that wanting the king to reappoint you as crown prince is just idiotic delusion. They even said you're not fit to be compared to even a single strand of royal Uncle Isaac's hair. Everything Bella recounted was her own fabrication, designed to elicit Richard's pity. A demonic glint shone in her green eyes. Your Highness! His face darkened. He looked angrily at Bella. She feigned hesitation and continued. But they didn't even spare Your Highness. He narrowed his eyes furiously, growling, What was that? Bella leaned closer, whispering, I heard those commoners gossiping about you, saying your speech and behavior are impulsive, selfish, and ignorant, and that wanting the king to reinstate you as crown prince is just a pipe dream. She continued with her deceitful words. They also said you aren't even comparable to a single strand of your royal Uncle Isaac's hair. He glared resentfully into the distance, every word she spoke successfully poisoning his mind. Perhaps she thought her plan had succeeded, and that foolish prince believed her absurd words to be true. Meanwhile, Lily was walking through a forest, surrounded by the sounds of rustling leaves and flowers. Karen flew beside her, chuckling. Ha ha ha! Did you see her face, swollen like a pig's head? He said in a mocking tone. She looked up at him innocently. Karen was gleeful. I'm so satisfied. That was great, really great. But she wasn't. Her face was sorrowful, and she said nothing. Then she hesitated. The two of us could have caused a huge scene and then turned into crows and flown away. Lilybug, but Madame Isis helped us like that. What if she faces Bella's revenge? He landed on her shoulder and began to comfort her. He smiled confidently. Madame Isis is the most capable woman of the VA law tribe. Even if we hadn't stepped in, she wouldn't have let that old hag insult her kinsfolk. Lily pushed open a door and stepped inside. He continued. Besides, she helped us not because she feared the crown prince's authority, but to repay a debt of gratitude. Her deep blue eyes sparkled like the starry sky outside. She looked at Isaac. Isaac, with his dark brown hair and those same sharp, cold eyes, his high, straight nose, and long, curled lashes. He looked truly striking. He stood still, holding a pocket watch, as if waiting for something. Looking at his watch, he said, Was the old market district that interesting? Why are you back so late? He turned to look at her sternly. The luxurious room, with its blue backdrop, was bathed in warm, shimmering sunlight, making it look even brighter. She sat before a mirror, eyes closed, exhausted. She sighed deeply, her voice a mournful hoo-hoo, and said to Catherine, "Did I make His Highness the Crown Prince angry?" Catherine, while combing Lily's smooth, silky platinum blonde hair, had to look bewildered at her question. Lily, dejected and sorrowful, then told Catherine, "I explained to him why I had to go out. His attitude was extremely cold. I also sincerely apologized to him, but he said—" An image flashed in her mind, his eyes looking at her with indignation and anger. "From now on, without my permission, you are not to set foot outside this castle. Not even for a single step," Lily said resentfully. "Even if he did me a favor, we also have a cooperative relationship of mutual benefit. He has no right to restrict my physical freedom." She raised her hand, clenching it into a fist as sunlight streamed through the window. Catherine smiled, her eyes sparkling as she brushed Lily's hair. "His Highness is just worried about your safety. In his own clumsy way," she told her. Lily turned to look at Catherine, puzzled, wisps of her pale hair framing her cheeks. "Worry? Oh," Catherine said, taking out a pristine white flower. "It looks so pure." She placed it in Lily's hair. "He returned from the royal palace, and the first thing he did was bring a bouquet to find you. He searched for you everywhere, but couldn't find you. He stood before me," Catherine continued, "asking about your whereabouts. When he couldn't find a trace of you throughout the castle, he immediately inquired about your movements. Only when he learned that you and Karen had gone out together did he let out a sigh of relief. After that, he just kept pacing in the old castle's drawing room, looking at his watch, waiting for you to return." Catherine placed a hand on Lily's shoulder and said gently, "He was worried you were lost in grief over your mother's death, and also feared that, being wanted throughout the city, if you were recognized, you would encounter unforeseen trouble." Lily sat pensively, then stood up gracefully. Catherine continued, "He's just not good at expressing himself." The shimmering, ethereal sunlight seemed to dim in comparison to Lily. She was like a pure, serene white porcelain flower. She gently held the flower he had given her, a slight blush on her cheeks. Only she knew what she was thinking at that moment. In the quiet, star-filled night, only the rustling whisper of the wind could be heard. Isaac was practicing his swordsmanship in the courtyard, the soft clang of steel echoing. He was exhausted, sweat pouring from his brow. It seemed he was doing this to vent something. Lily, holding a lamp, walked out to him. She looked like a fairy, with her platinum blonde hair, flawless white skin, and clear blue eyes. Though she only wore her night clothes, she still looked exquisitely beautiful and enchanting under the clear night sky. "It's so late, yet you're still out here practicing your sword. Is something on your mind?" Her voice was soft and gentle. He sheathed his sword. "Miss Rowland," Isaac said sternly, "I've told you before, there's no need to meddle in my private affairs." Then Isaac suggested, "It's getting late. I'll escort you back to your room." Lily remained silent, not responding. "Isaac," Lily boldly asked, "may I ask, Your Highness, are you troubled by the matter of being deposed as Crown Prince?" Isaac's steps halted. He asked Lily, "Who told you that?" Lily didn't answer Isaac's question, but simply said, "Your reaction suggests my guess was correct." Lily then stated, "After all, I was once the Crown Princess-to-be. I know a few rumors about the Stewart family." Lily honestly shared what she knew. "My fiancé, your nephew Richard, has always been ambitious for the throne. He wanted to marry me to use the Rowland family to expand his own power. As for your elder brother, His Majesty the King, you two have always respected each other, but there are rumors he is jealous of your military achievements. Whoever could cast such a powerful curse on you must understand you extremely well." Lily speculated, "They need you alive, but they want to ruin your reputation and separate you from the center of power." Isaac stared at Lily, who was passionately voicing her deductions. "Just by considering who benefits, it's not hard to guess your predicament." Isaac suddenly covered Lily's mouth with his hand. The two of them unexpectedly looked into each other's eyes, unable to look away. Lily, embarrassed, knew she had been impolite. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have spoken so presumptuously about your family's affairs." Isaac smiled. "I don't dislike intelligent young ladies. If you could be a little more discreet, that would be better." As they walked together down the corridor, Isaac suddenly spoke. "Next month." He paused, then continued, "My elder brother will host a family banquet in the royal palace. If I cannot attend, he will implicitly acknowledge that I no longer care about state affairs." Isaac's gaze darkened as he said, "And he will revoke my position as crown prince." Lily looked at Isaac, who was confiding in her. And that day coincidentally falls on the night of the blood moon. Lily was about to say something. Why must it always be? But quickly changed it to, is it because you rarely interact with the outside world and the rampant rumors have made him suspicious? Isaac continued Lily's thought. Or perhaps he knows my body is bound by the moon crown and deliberately organized this banquet for me. Lily asked about Isaac's intentions. How do you plan to deal with it? Isaac hoped for Lily's help. I must be present. Please prepare a magical potion for me. Lily looked at Isaac for a moment, then agreed. Lily smiled gently, promising Isaac, I promise you, I will help you face all the challenges of that night with a complete body and a clear mind. Isaac replied, good. I'll look forward to it. Then, in a courteous manner, Isaac extended an invitation to Lily. In that case, I am still short a dance partner. May I ask, lovely lady, would you be willing to accompany me? Lily smiled brightly and replied, I would be delighted. Suddenly, Lily hesitated. But, at the royal banquet, Richard will also be there, won't he? Isaac reassured Lily. You don't need to respond to me in the capacity of Lily Rowland. I will give you a completely new name, so you can completely transform yourself. Isaac called Lily by a new name, Her Highness Princess Lilith of the former kingdom of Leonia. Isaac gently kissed Lily's hand and asked, May I ask, would you be willing to pretend to be my fiancé? Lily's heart beat rapidly, thumping loudly in her chest. 3 days later, Madame Isis was happily singing as she returned from the market. Suddenly, Isis saw something that made her jump in alarm and confusion. Isis's neighborhood was engulfed in fierce flames. Cries for help echoed everywhere. Damn it! Fire! Quickly get water! Save my child! Someone save my child! At Prince Richard's residence, he sat in a daze, thinking. Richard's subordinate appeared, reporting the situation. Your Highness, the matter you assigned has been taken care of. Richard coldly asked his subordinate, Where did you find her? The subordinate presented an item and reported, As you predicted, Your Highness, she was indeed hiding in the old district in a shop run by the VA law people. Richard took a box and opened it. Inside was a necklace and a lock of hair. The subordinate clarified the situation to Richard, only it was burned to ashes by the fire. At the tea table, Madame Isis praised, You truly are as prescient as a god. Isis explained what had happened. Indeed, someone set fire to my herbal shop and took the fake female corpse you prepared. Fortunately, I believed you and moved the important items from the shop beforehand. Isis informed Lily of the current situation. Now, the wanted posters in the city have all been torn down. Lady Lily placed her teacup on the table. Lily thanked Madame Isis. It is I who should thank you for agreeing to cooperate with my fake death. Madame Isis hesitated, then said to Lily, You said this fire? Prince Richard sent people to set it. Isis asked Lily, Is this true? Lily was honest with Isis. That day, the woman who argued with me in your shop is Richard's mistress. Lily felt guilty towards Isis. I'm sorry, it's all because of my thoughtless actions that day. If I could, I would like to compensate everyone who was affected. But Isis said, No need to apologize. I don't regret helping you either. Isis frankly offered her opinion to Lily. Lady Rowland, when picking herbs in the wild and encountering a beast, playing dead is useless. Either flee and never return, or... Isis offered a suggestion to Lily, stab it in the heart with a knife. Lily's face turned serious. I will remember your advice. Lily also instructed Isis. And also, I hope that from now on, you will not call me Lady Rowland. Lily affirmed, the daughter of Duke Roland, Lily, died in that fire in the old street. I hope you remember this. Lily strolled in the garden, her mood heavy. She let out a sigh. Suddenly, a voice asked, Lily, why are you sighing? Lily jumped and turned to see Isaac. Isaac said, What do you think Richard will do now? Thanks to you asking me to find a female corpse that resembled you. We turned the tables, using your hair and necklace to make Richard believe you were burned to death. You should be relieved now. Isaac's gaze was ice cold as he asked Lily, Could it be you're blaming yourself for those commoners on the old street? Lily was sad and said nothing. Isaac comforted her. The shop was burned because of your sister's vile pettiness, and because my royal family is envious. That's all there is to it. Lily suddenly said resolutely, No, I will not think about it anymore. I will not compromise or yield to Bella. On the contrary, Lily said, her eyes filled with murderous intent. What I regret is why I didn't kill her. Isaac looked at Lily in surprise. Isaac praised, Very good. Your eyes are increasingly resembling those of an avenger. Isaac handed a sword to Lily and said, "Here, Karen will not act against Bella. He is just a knife I wield. He will kill whomever I command." Isaac watched Lily grip the sword tightly and coldly ordered, "You want to stab your enemy into 1,000 pieces? Then please do it yourself." Lily, without hesitation, drew the sword. Its blade reflected Lily's hate-filled eyes. At Isaac's residence, Lily, while attacking Isaac, asked to successfully pretend to be the princess of the former kingdom of Leonia. "What do I need to learn?" Isaac dodged the blade and replied, "Leonia was once a queendom. Its generals and ministers were all women." Isaac grabbed Lily's sword hand, and the sword fell to the ground. Isaac embraced Lily from behind, declaring, "I win again." Lily, embarrassed and angry, glanced at Isaac. Isaac began to instruct Lily on many things. Apart from this, horsemanship, etiquette, and the arts are all skills favored by Leonia's nobility. Isaac introduced a professional tailor to Lily. "This is my personal seamstress. She will tailor a gown suitable for your status as a princess according to your measurements." The elderly seamstress diligently measured Lily for clothes. Isaac taught Lily the final, most important thing. Most importantly, within 1 month, you must master their language and history. Leonia, the pearl of the Leyland Sea, the lives of the entire tribe were cared for by the gods. Daughters of the royal family were born with powerful white magic blood, able to manipulate natural elements and purify all defilement. Under the protection of successive queens, the former kingdom enjoyed 700 years of peace and prosperity. But change was silently brewing in the dark corners. People wanted to overthrow the queen's rule, yet were wary of her magical power. Then one day, they summoned demons. Those heretics, by worshipping demons, gained magical power and called themselves sorceresses. They supported evil deeds in exchange for cursed power, but eventually angered the gods and were punished by heaven. The apocalypse came to Leonia. The sky roared, the earth rumbled, and fiery rain fell. The once flourishing kingdom sank to the bottom of the sea. Since then, sorceresses have been considered ominous beings, hunted down, even executed, and scattered everywhere. Lily, while reading the history of the kingdom of Leonia, said, "It seems to have happened in the year I was born." Mother said volcanic ash, carried by the winter monsoon, flew into the territory of the kingdom of Gran, like a summer snowstorm. Lily wondered, asking Isaac, what happened to the royal family of the former kingdom of Leonia? If they had such strong magical power, they should have been able to survive the disaster, right? Isaac slowly replied, "They bore the responsibility of a royal family, loving and protecting their land and people more than anyone else." Who revealed the fate of the Leonia royal family, leaving Lily stunned. They considered sacrificing themselves for their country and honor. Isaac recounted what he knew. Some say they fought against the disaster until the very last moment, buried with the great treasures of the former kingdom at the bottom of the sea. Others say the descendants of Leonia fled to the kingdom of Gran and are now living in hiding, their identities concealed. Isaac said, "There was a time I was very interested in their power. I used every means to search for their whereabouts. Unfortunately, there were no results." Lily's face was serious, and she said nothing. Unconsciously, Lily voiced her speculation to Isaac. "So that's it. The Leonia royal family possessed magic that could purify all defilement. It must also be able to break the binding of the moon crown on you." Lily voiced what she had suspected. "You disappeared for a while, then reappeared under the blood moon. Not only did you not turn into a monster, but you also had a princess, a descendant of Leonia, by your side. The person behind this, believing the curse on you has been lifted, will definitely make their next move." Lily stated her role in Isaac's plan. "Your Highness, I am the bait used to lure your enemy out." Isaac coldly asked Lily, "Are you afraid?" Isaac, indifferent and cruel, advised Lily, "It's still not too late to regret now." But Lily shook her head. Lily gently affirmed to Isaac, "You chose me to be the bait, which proves you need me. It also proves that at this moment, you are facing an insurmountable difficulty." Lily reassured Isaac, "Please rest assured. Learning a foreign language is much easier for me than martial arts and assassination." Lily focused on her studies, oblivious to how much time passed, until late at night, when the lamps were lit, Lily, exhausted, fell asleep while studying. Isaac had approached Lily at some point. Lily was having a nightmare. "Mother, I will try not to bring shame to our family." Isaac watched Lily without taking his eyes off her. Then, Isaac did not wake Lily but carried her. Isaac walked down the hallway to take Lily to her room. Isaac gently laid Lily on the bed. Isaac didn't leave immediately, but continued to look at Lily. Suddenly, a pang of pain shot through him, causing Isaac to grit his teeth to suppress a cry, to avoid disturbing the sleeping Lily. But Isaac's small cry still made Lily open her eyes. "Your Highness," Lily called out to Isaac. Isaac turned his face away and said, "Pardon my intrusion." Lily took Isaac's hand, concerned and worried, asking, "Your Highness, is the curse acting up again?" Lily boldly suggested to Isaac, "My blood. Please use it." Isaac's steward escorted Lily Rowland to her room. At that moment, only the two of them were there. Isaac gently kissed Lily's wrist. His eyes turned a characteristic deep red, and his sharp fangs were visible. Seeing this, Lily began to panic, not knowing what to do. Before she could react, Isaac had pinned Lily to the bed. Even more terrifying, she saw he had a strange, demonic black hand, as if intending to choke her. But he lowered himself, craving blood, and was about to bite the nape of Lily's neck. She stopped him, suddenly thinking, His Highness the Prince, like this? When did, she tried to stop him. "Don't be like this." His intention to drink her blood paused when he heard Lily's voice. It was as if he regained his senses. He had no intention of scaring her. Isaac pushed Lily forcefully, but she was still on the bed, so she wasn't hurt. He covered his face, restraining himself. "This isn't me," she worried. "Your Highness." He still tried to avoid her. "Don't come over here. Don't look at me." Catherine, intending to bring a cup of tea, was bumped into by him as he rushed away. Being a maidservant, she was naturally concerned. Lily's heart grew more anxious as tonight was the blood moon, red as blood. She wore a cloak to ward off the cold and carried a small vial of her blood. Meanwhile, Catherine tried to help Isaac calm down with her clear, earnest singing. Lily realized through the books she had read that she understood the binding power of the moon crown. She asked worriedly, "Your Highness, are you all right?" She saw him suppressing his urges, helpless. Seeing it firsthand, it was clear how it could completely crush all the pride of a noble gentleman, she thought. Catherine pleaded with Lily, "Lady Lily, please help His Highness." The transformation time. It's suddenly earlier than expected. He's enduring pain and hunger beyond our imagination. But Isaac stopped her. "Don't beg her, Catherine." Though in great pain, Isaac still managed to say, "Lily Rowland, go, if you don't want to die." Lily looked directly into his eyes and said, "I understand. You're afraid that when you go mad, you'll lose all control and tear me apart." Then she handed him the vial of potion. "If you don't want to touch me, you can also try this vial first. It has my blood mixed in it." He knocked it away, coldly turning his back. "Get out." Lily remained resolute. "You're acting like a child throwing a tantrum. Can you not be so stubborn with your doctor when you're gravely ill?" After speaking, she drank the potion and, unexpectedly, gently pressed her lips to Isaac's. Though he hadn't anticipated it, he calmly accepted it. Suddenly, Isaac collapsed onto Lily and fainted. She supported him, knowing that when the frenzy was dispelled, he would fall unconscious. She remembered, when attending the court ball, "I must definitely pay attention to this point." Catherine stood by silently, saying nothing. 3 days later, Lily was cleaning the kitchen when Catherine joyfully approached her. "Lady Lily, the evening gown, made to your measurements, is ready." She eagerly asked Lily, "Come quickly and try on. See if it fits." Lily was also very happy. "Really?" she said. "But my improved potion isn't finished yet." Catherine took Lily's hand, leading her away. "You can continue later. Come on, come here," the maidservant excitedly announced. "His Highness the Prince has prepared a surprise gift for you. You'll definitely be very happy." Lily was surprised. His Highness the Prince? And a thank you gift? She thought, since that day, I haven't seen him for 3 days. I forced myself to focus on concocting the potion. We seem to be tacitly avoiding each other. Lily went to Isaac's room. "Your Highness, you called for me." Isaac had recovered, but he still spoke to her coldly. "The banquet gown is ready. Try it on." Then a servant showed her a small golden box. Lily hesitated. "All right. Thank you, Your Highness." She gently opened it and was surprised to see a blue gold necklace adorned with many precious diamonds. It looked truly brilliant and enchantingly beautiful. Lily stared at it and asked Isaac, "Your Highness, this emerald?" He thought for a moment, then answered her, "Yes. It's the stone from your mother's necklace." He recalled, When faking the fire in the body, I had someone replace it with a replica. As he spoke, he remembered, although you said you wanted to use the real thing to deceive those people, I still felt this was a memento you shouldn't discard. Lily didn't know that he had painstakingly assembled the emeralds into that precious and noble necklace as a gift for her. Though somewhat cold, he didn't dislike her. On the contrary, he had feelings he couldn't explain. Isaac continued, "You wouldn't think I did something useless, would you?" Lily, surprised, hugged Isaac tightly from behind, startling him slightly so he couldn't react. She was truly surprised and moved by his gift. She thanked him because she thought she would never see it again. Lily said happily, "Now I'll go try on the ball gown, Your Highness." Lily left, but turned back with that same adorable expression. "Thank you again for the best gift you've ever given me in the world." Isaac froze for a few seconds. That woman just throws herself at me without a care. Doesn't she know how dangerous it is to be near me? He thought. He unconsciously touched his lips, a gentle expression on his face. He suddenly thought, there's a scent of Lily. That night was the night of the crimson blood moon, and the ringing of bells seemed to announce the start of the ball. A Marchioness was the first to perform, the one who brightened the ball the most. She was Marchioness Selena Hestia. Selena was stunning with her captivating sea blue hair, its large curls enhancing her noble beauty. A jade hairpin and a purple gown seemed made for Selena Hestia. Her appearance made the other noble houses gasp in admiration at her flawless beauty. People were surprised. Marchioness Hestia? What wind brought her here? I heard she's unparalleled in beauty, but has an arrogant temperament and rarely attends social gatherings. As Selena looked around, she caught the eye of third Prince Richard. He saw her and struck up a conversation. "Are you looking for that royal uncle of mine who doesn't dare show his face?" He lowered his center of gravity, taking her hand as a royal courtesy, and said haughtily, "I hear that uncle of mine is so obsessed with black magic that he's turned into a monster. Whenever he sees the full moon, he goes mad." At the same time, he gently added, "I'm afraid he's running naked and crazed through the desolate fields, trying to find his lost sanity." Richard, with that same demeanor, lifted her soft hand. "The sharp eyes of the stewards wouldn't be so heartless as to leave a beauty like you alone." He continued his proposal, "I wouldn't mind inviting you for the opening dance tonight." Selena arrogantly pushed Richard's hand away. She seemed uninterested in him and said coldly, "I will not dance with a man who likes to set fires." Richard froze. Set fetus. It seemed to dredge up some unpleasant memories for him. He looked a little surprised that she knew about that incident. Hearing Selena speak, the other noble women began to whisper excitedly. It's wildly rumored outside, but the fire in the old market district was... But one noble woman cautiously warned her, "Don't you value your life?" Gossiping about the royal family's scandals in the Sanchi Palace. Not paying attention to the chatter, Selena turned and saw Bella. She asked, "Who is that? Looks like some vulgar nouveau riche." Roland, with that same arrogant and conceited air, but wearing a splendid orange gold gown and a golden feathered crown, arrived at the ball with one of her servants. Richard, though he knew Bella, deliberately avoided her, saying he didn't know her, had never met her. Bella approached Selena. "Greetings, Marchioness Hestia. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time. I hope you can remember my name." Bella introduced herself. "I am the eldest daughter of Duke Roland, Bella Roland." She even added cheerfully, "After my younger sister Lily eloped and then died in a sea of fire, and with father bedridden, I have been entrusted to handle all the affairs of the Duke's mansion on his behalf." Then Bella gently leaned into Richard's embrace. She put on a pitiful, coquettish expression, using her beauty, and announced, "And from today onwards, I will also replace that sister of mine who shamed our family and become a suitable bride for the Stuart royal family." A moment later, everyone in the ballroom had a look towards the main gate, as an important figure appeared. The doors opened, and the person who entered made Selena excited. It was His Highness Prince Isaac Stuart. Not only did Isaac appear, but a mysterious girl of devastating beauty appeared with him. Both were dressed in pure white attire, like angels. Isaac Stuart was still as imposing and captivating as his power. He had his hair slicked back, making him look like a different person, gentler and purer. One thing that stunned all the nobles at the ball was the beauty of the girl whose hand he held. She was like an angel descended to earth. All the radiance of beauty was directed towards her. Dressed in a thin white gown, it still highlighted every feature of hers. A perfect combination with her pure black hair, mournful purple eyes, and a small crown. The two of them made the atmosphere of the ball even more lively. Everyone praised. Prince Isaac still has that superior aura. Overwhelming, stunning. That girl is so beautiful. At the same time, they also wondered, who is she? She has purple irises. Could it be? Prince Isaac politely said, "Good evening. Allow me to introduce someone to you all." He introduced. This is Princess Lilith, a descendant of the former kingdom of Leonia, Lilith Leonia. And she's also my fiancée. Lilith Leonia gently lowered herself in a curtsy, greeting everyone politely.